IELTS Cast, episode 35.
You're listening to IELTS Cast, the podcast to put you in touch with successful IELTS candidates from around the world. Listen and learn as they explain how they achieved Band 7, 8 and even 9. Now, here's your host, Ryan.
Hello and welcome to IELTS Cast. Today I am speaking with Linh, a candidate from Vietnam. She is from Hanoi, Vietnam, and she took her IELTS exam there. Linh's overall band was 8. She scored 8.5 in listening, a perfect band 9 in reading, and band 7 in writing and in speaking. This was the second time she's taken the examination, the first time being almost exactly a year ago. It was, she mentioned, August 2013. And her mark grew quite a bit in the different areas of the examination, and we'll talk about that in detail. Hi, Linh. Welcome to IELTS Cast.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
So let's start with the listening section. A year ago, you scored 7.5. This year, you scored 8.5. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you prepared for this year's exam?
Actually, the first time I took the IELTS test, I didn't have enough time to prepare for the test. I only have 20 days or so. So then back there, I practiced as much as I can, but this time I got more time to prepare for it, and I did a lot of trial tests, and I tried different ways to practice my listening skills. So yeah, it kind of improved a bit. Talking about strategy, actually I didn't have any particular strategy or methods to practice my listening skill. But yeah, I did the trial test in the Cambridge IELTS series that I believe that quite popular for IELTS candidates everywhere.
Yes.
So I practiced the test in the book and then rewatched it and revised a lot from it and learned from my mistake and something like that. I didn't have any particular strategies for my listening test. Back there, the first time when I took the test, I got 7.5, but I didn't know exactly how did I got that how did I get that score. So in accident, I found your video with Vidit and Toby, and then where I listened to the Vidit advice, then I realized that a lot of his strategies is similar with me, but then back there I didn't realize that I got this kind of method to do the test. I just listened to it and then write out the answers. So the second time when I did the trial test, then I tried to focus on the method, underline the keywords, or sometimes when it comes to something important, then I concentrate more, something like that. But talk about strategies, then I didn't have any particular strategies. So
I'm wondering, did you use the strategies regarding previewing questions from upcoming sections? So for example, when you're given time to preview the questions for section 1, you go ahead to section 3 or section 4 and preview those questions. Did you do any of that?
Yeah, definitely. When I heard Vidit, I believe when he talked about that, then in the second time I took the test and I did that, and I think that's quite efficiently. I think it worked.
Now walk us through the exam process when you were in the listening. What sort of experience did you have?
Oh, okay. So I took the test at British Council, and it was quite nice there. Everything ran smoothly, and the staff was very nice, and everything was so professional. And then I don't have to worry about the process. I just focused on my test. So when I came to the test room, then there was a guy that told us about the test and something like that, and then we took the test. So I think that it was quite nice and it ran quite smoothly.
I see.
Yeah, about the listening test, I want to share about my practicing process. That it actually nothing special, but I did listen to a lot of movie and YouTube channels, and I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels, yours of course, and then I watch a lot of videos on there, and I think that it's quite a great way to practice your listening test. Not just focus on the test itself, but really listening to any type of conversation in English, and it helped me a lot to understand the context. And then when I came to the test, and I became more concentrate because I could understand the context itself and can focus on the test.
Did you do much accent training?
No, I listen to a bunch of different accents. Like on YouTube, there are a lot of videos. Then I can listen to YouTubers from all over the world. But mostly the American accent that I love the most, so I listen to it quite a lot. But the other accent, then like I didn't practice particularly on any accent. I just like any videos, then I go practice on it.
I see. Okay, let's move on to the reading. You scored Band 9 last year. You scored Band 9 this year. So you're obviously a master of the reading section of the IELTS.
Yeah.
How did you go about preparing?
Okay, so I think the main reason why I got 9 for reading test because I love it a lot. I love reading a lot. So like when people do their reading test, they kind of really scared and nervous about the test itself, that they couldn't do their best on the test. But for me, I really enjoy reading. So it's just like I read the things that I love and then copy out the answer. It's not like doing a test at all. It feels like I'm doing a game or something like that.
Oh, okay. So that's how you approach the studying then, is that right? You kind of created sort of a game out of it?
Yeah, I create the feeling, the attitude toward the test. Like, I'm not worried about the test. I'm just thinking that, okay, this is the thing that I love to do. Let's read through all of this, and then find out the answer and write that down. I think that's my way of doing a reading test. I think other people have skimming and scanning, right? When I did my test, I read through the questions to kind of see that what type of questions I have to handle. And then I came back to the text and I read through all of this with joy. I really enjoy reading all of this. And then I turn back to the questions and answer all of them.
I see.
So,
and so
yeah.
To finish the 3 readings, how long did that take you out of 60 minutes?
Like in 40 minutes, I believe, both times.
Oh, okay.
Like in 40 minutes.
Okay, because that's quite fast considering that you read the entire passage.
I know a lot of teachers give advice like you don't have to enjoy the test. It's just a test. So your mission is to find out the answer as fast as you can and then answer your questions. But to me, I really enjoy it. So like I read it like normal books or something like that and then get the answer. But it in 40 minutes. So it surprised me too.
And do you do any prioritizing of questions at all?
Prioritize questions. I did read the question first to kind of know what type of questions I have to handle. Like, is it matching titles or true false not given or yes no not given? But then I just left it there and turned back to the text to work with it.
I see. And did you have any? So did you get matching questions? And if you did get those matching questions, can you describe how you would go about finding the answers for them?
Yeah, to me, this is the most difficult type of questions. Every time I grab it, and I struggle a lot. But yeah, I did the other types of questions first, like for the short answers questions or like fill in the blanks questions or true false not given. I did all those things first, and then when I finish all those questions, then I kind of have a I don't know. Basic understanding about the text, then I came back to the matching titles. And for each small paragraph, then I identified the main ideas of it and turned back to the question to choose the right answer. So that's the way I deal with it.
I see.
It's really difficult though. The day of the test were quite nice because, like I said before, the staff was really nice and they smile a lot, so it calmed me down and I didn't think it as a test at all. I really enjoy doing all of this. Like when I come into the test room, then I just kind of set the mind or being at home and doing trial test, not the real test. And for a reading test, it's like a game to me. So the day of the test was nice. The next day I did the speaking test. Then I had different experience with the 2 times with the both times that I did the test. So it quite different. The first time I took the test, the examiner the examiner, he looked quite tough and straight, but then he turned out to be a quite funny person, and he really supportive. So whenever I found it difficult to find a word, then he would wait patiently for me to find out the exact word and then to move to another questions. But the second time, the examiner was I don't know, he moved a little bit too fast, and when I didn't find the exact word, then it kind of freaked me out a bit. So the second time were a little bit terrified than the first time. So that was my experience with the test.
And where were the examiners from?
The first examiner is from England, I believe. The second one, I didn't remember his name. But actually both of them were nice. But the second time, I didn't have much time to prepare for my test, and that is what I want to mention to other candidates. Because if you are not a native speaker, then you must spend time outside the test room to prepare for your test. Like kind of mumble English a bit, so that you kind of warm yourself up and get familiar with English. So the second time, when I came to the center, they kind of pulled me in the test room because I was the last candidate that day. So when I came to the test room, I didn't have time to practice or to go over some English sentence. So my test was not that good as the first time. Yeah, but both the examiners was nice.
Now that we're talking about the speaking, so you scored band 7 this year. You got a band 7.5 last year. So what was your preparation strategy? Did you join any clubs or groups, or did you have Skype friends? How did you prepare?
Yeah. Actually, when I prepare for the first test, then I have 3 years of studying English, because in high school I didn't focus on studying English. So when I was freshman in university, my English was quite terrible. So back there, I just when I start studying English, then I kind of create my own way of practicing speaking English. Like I said before, that I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I kind of learn from those videos how to speak. And whenever I heard something that I can repeat, then I use that to practice my English. But when I was in the second year at university, then I joined the English Club or Banking Academy of my university, and kind of I joined the English speaking environment there, and they are really helpful to help me practice my English. So my strategies is quite clear that the more you speak, then the more comfortable you feel when you speak English. So yeah, my English speaking materials were YouTube videos and my club.
And your what, sorry?
My English club in university. I came there, and we have weekly activities that you can come and join and practice speaking English there.
How did you train your accent in particular to more mimic the intonation that a native English speaker would produce when they speak?
Like I said before, that I really love watching YouTube videos. So I noticed that their intonation is different from the way that most Vietnamese speakers say. So I kind of changed my intonation to kind of like them. So yeah, that's my way of practicing speaking. Like I watch the videos over and over again, and then I mimic the way they talk. Most candidates in Asia and in Vietnam, they believe that if you use a lot of complex and difficult words, then you will have higher score in IELTS test. But I think it's not a great advice, though. I think that the more natural you speak, the better your score will be. But the complex and difficult words that other people cannot understand you, then that's not the point of studying English at all.
Yes, that's a very good point.
That's my point of view.
Yeah, no, that is a very good point, and I think that some people they use these words to a fault because it makes them sound robotic. It doesn't sound natural at all, and like you said, I mean, often they drop these words thinking that this is going to impress the examiner, but all too often they haven't really prepared themselves to be able to use the word accurately and in context. Lynn, let's move on to writing. You scored band 7, which is a very respectable mark. An interesting thing to point out, though, is that a year ago you had band 5.5. So what's the story there?
Okay, actually, the first time I took the test, I didn't have any opportunity to study at any English center. So I kind of study in IELTS for myself. So I didn't know the exact way to do the test. But when I came into the test room and I received the questions, like kind of like whatever I know, whatever in my mind back then, then I wrote it down. So the score was quite bad. But the second time when I had more time and I had my part-time job that I can afford an English course, then I did go study a writing course in order to improve my IELTS writing skill. So I remember that we did gave an advice in your video that you must practice under a good IELTS instructor or something, or someone like that. So like someone who really know about the test and someone who have great skill in writing. So I did take his advice and I studied a short course to change my writing skill. So I believe that it's the reason why my score turned from 5.5 to 7.
So you were receiving personalized feedback on your writing.
Yeah.
And how long did this course last for?
Like in 21 days. 21 days.
So it sounds as though that before the course, you were kind of writing whatever sort of came to mind on the essay topic. After the course, you were creating a structure and maybe separating your ideas into paragraphs. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I learned how to brainstorm for the questions. Like whenever the question turn out, then I must what the word, like kind of think really carefully about the questions and how to answer. And I learned how to organize my ideas so that the ideas will appear more clearly on the paper. So that's what I learned in the course. It's really helpful. So compared to the first time when I didn't know what to write and how to answer the questions, then the second time was much better. At the first time, then I didn't think the task one questions, the task one as important. But the second time when I know that task one does contribute a lot to your mark, like if you rate the task one is a well enough, then it can kind of pull up your score in total in writing test. So if a candidate is going to have a higher score in their writing test, I recommend that you should practice more on your task one essays as well as at the task two essay.
And so then in the lead up, say in the month before your examination, what was the routine like? How often were you writing?
Yeah, I try to write every day, like every single day when I woke up. Then I did a listening and reading test because I know the process or the test will be like that. So every single day when I woke up, then I will practice my listening and then reading test, and then turn to the writing test. And then in the evening, then I will kind of talk to myself about some speaking topics. So every single day I practice.
Okay, great. Good for you. So it sounds like you were very disciplined.
Yeah.
So
I think self-discipline is kind of like the most important factor to success. So yeah, I try my best to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think creating a routine helps too. So what's the future look like for you now? You have this band 8. Are you going to take the IELTS again?
No, right now I don't have any plan to retake my IELTS test. The first time I took the test because I had the plan to go studying abroad, but some financial situation didn't allow me to do that. So the second time I took the test because my writing test at the first time was not that good, so I want to retake my test in order to prepare for any upcoming opportunities in the future. But right now, I don't have any plan to retake my IELTS test.
Well, it's good though that you have this in your back pocket for when you need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk about the motivation. Like, how do you motivate yourself during the preparation process? Because I know IELTS is a test, and nobody loves tests, like I mentioned in the email that I sent to you. So, but I feel like some candidates really freak out when they think about the test itself, and they think that IELTS test is really difficult, and to get a higher band score, it will require a lot of money, a lot of effort into it. But the effort part, then I agree, but the money is not. Like, I just took one writing course, and the other skills I practice by myself. So I want to talk to them. I want to kind of share my experience in self-studying, like how to motivate yourself during that.
What was the drive behind all of this? I mean, for some people, they have this very clear, I'm going abroad, I need this sort of mark. But for you, I mean, that wasn't so much in the game anymore. I mean, what was the fire beneath you that kind of pushed you to study so hard?
I think that is because the more I study English, the more I love it. And when you love something and you kind of have the motion to go to learn more about it and practice more. So the second time I did it because I love English a lot and I want to see how much did I improve through times. So I think that when you study for IELTS test, setting your goals, clear goals is important. But enjoy everything that you do for the test is also important.
So it sounds as though your advice, it fits right in with Vidit and Toby, who also stress the importance of making it enjoyable. It's so much easier to absorb things when you like what you're doing and you like the process, and it just doesn't seem like work to you.
Right, that's right. I think that the more you love it, and then the easier you will find it. Because if you love doing it, then it will turn out like a game, like I said before. It turn out like a game, not a test at all. So it's really enjoyable. The second time that I took the test, I kind of lack of sleep, and that affect my ability to focus on the test a lot. So if there is any candidate that really nervous about the test and couldn't sleep like me, then I want to say that it's just a test. After all, it's just a test. Don't stress yourself out, and eat well, sleep well, and everything will be all right. So that's all. I think that's all.
I think that the whole topic of endurance is an important one too, because I think that people they tend to forget that it is a very long test. It's going to take the majority of your day to get through this exam, and it's very taxing on your energy levels. So I mean, what sort of things did you do to keep your energy up? Yeah,
I bought in a bottle of water because I know that water is really important. And the second time I took the test, then I was really tired because the night before I didn't sleep at all. So that really awful. Like when I finished my listening test, then I really tired, and then the reading test. And after the reading test, then I kind of like had no energy at all to do my writing test. So that's why I want to tell other candidates that try to be relaxed when you do the test and sleep well, because it's really important.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Lynn, I want to thank you for coming on the show, sharing all of this great advice, and congratulations on your IELTS success.
Okay, thank you a lot for having me, and yeah, I will keep watching your videos because I really love your videos.
Thank you for downloading from IELTS.com. Have you achieved an overall band of 7 or higher on the IELTS exam? Why not contribute to the podcast? Contact Ryan at his blog, IELTS.com,